Hi, I'm Steve Dertien, Executive Vice President for Customer and Technology Partnerships at PTC. PTC is a software company based here in Boston. We're essentially helping companies that engineer, manufacture, and service primarily manufactured goods. So think of 3D CAD, all the engineering data management goes through it. If your product happens to have software in it, all the requirements and test case management that goes into product development, and overall, really just helping the overall product development lifecycle for firms that are essentially making products that make the world work. Many of our customers, so many of them all operate factories and have supply chains. Ignoring some of the supply chain complexity at the moment, most every company has a challenge of can I get products to market faster? Can I really accelerate the way that the whole organization is working? Can I save on time or be more efficient with the way that I use information and the goods themselves? Can I improve the overall quality of the product that we're ultimately producing, and in total have a product that's fit for market and ultimately a very successful kind of growth opportunity for the company? Now, if you unpack that at a level and you say, okay, how do I work on any one of those three particular factors? One is just by figuring out how we can help the organization collaborate at large. Many of our customers have many people across different organizations, whether it's software people working with hardware, the manufacturing team, supply chain, you name it. And a lot of this is really about coordinating information that we're creating as creators, as individuals, as engineers and designers and so forth, and connecting that with everybody that has a stake in the overall product development and manufacturing process. Subsequently, for a lot of products that are out there that get serviced, doing the same, but organizing that now around the technicians that actually go out and do the repair and the maintenance and the customer care and the success and the overall use of those products, if that's what your industry needs. For a lot of American manufacturers, a few things. First is, do we revitalize a lot of the manufacturing technology in different ways? Meaning, do we bring more automation? Not necessarily to mean more robots, but the way that we use, for example, CNC and more advanced techniques for machining, or the way that we're setting up our manufacturing processes. Ultimately, if you think about the cost and the speed trade-off that we would go through, would we use that as an advantage in the way that we manufacture? Would we look at the existing facilities that we have and ultimately invest in them in different ways to essentially drive better growth and profitability through more advanced techniques as well? Now, if you think about the investment that goes into a factory, the ability to use some of the more software-defined techniques for your automation controls, for example, maybe the introduction of robotics into processes that you haven't used them before, material handling and so forth, where are there opportunities to essentially ease some of the stress on the workforce and ultimately make it so that they're contributing to the value add part of the product manufacturing process. So from a process perspective, a lot of the technology that we use today is still geared around kind of traditional means of communication, whether we're still using emails or sending drawings. And so some of the process improvements, particularly when working with suppliers, is can we connect them more digitally to the way that we're working? Instead of sending them information and then 2-3 weeks later getting an answer back, can we do it kind of in real time while still maintaining all the intellectual property protection and security that companies want around the product development information? So that modernization, despite it being 2025 and having cloud and other sorts of technologies around us, the engineering and the supply chain side of things still, very much needs a way to connect the information that they're working on better. And that's just one simple opportunity. And then obviously many more coming in the near future around the way that AI can help drive more process benefits as well and automation. I think it comes down, as any startup or as any company, comes down to just first, what's the awesome product? What is the thing that you most think that your consumer and customer needs and wants? How do you figure out the requirements of a successful product and something that works with them? How do you collaborate with them? And I think particularly when you think about your competition with larger, more established companies, are you trying to compete with them on speed or on features, on cost even? And if you can have a very clear way to have a better customer relationship and a better way to produce a product that meets their need, you can find ways to accelerate all of the other things that it takes from a product development perspective. A good management team in a great market's always going to win. A good product is ultimately going to help you cement that with your customers.